Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you for stopping by. I hope the week's gone well. It's a really wet day out here in Nairobi. Let me start with some macro thoughts. I couldn't resist this from the New York Times. Tariff Man, an origin story. The story starts in the 1980s. Trump had built an empire on real estate with a big boost from his father, but all around him he saw a growing threat to American business. Japan, the second largest economy on the planet. It was the era of the Sony Walkman and the Panasonic VSR. Remember those? Japanese electronics reigned supreme, and Toyota and Honda sedans filled American streets. For Mr. Trump, the ascendancy struck especially close to home in 1989. That year, Japanese buyers in their latest trophy deal bought the Rockefeller Center in Manhattan. Mr. Trump argued in a TV interview that the US should slap a 20% tax on its imports, including on cars and VCRs. Near the end of the 20th century, glimmers of Mr. Trump's presidential dreams began to emerge, with trade at the top of his agenda. In 1999, he announced on CNN's Larry King Live that he would consider running for president as a Reform Party candidate. On the show, he said NAFTA would be a disaster. He blamed Japan for subsidizing its car industry and took aim at South Korean shippers. When he went on the campaign trail in 2016, Mr. Trump began to gain strength in factory towns around the US, decimated by the flood of cheap Chinese goods. While Thor had his thunderbolt, Trump had his tariffs. With them, he was. In time, the son of queens had become the man of steel. Will China's economy stumble? What does it all mean for the relationship between the two countries? I wrote about these tariff wars on the 9th of July when I said tariff wars, who blinks first? Have a look at this Chinese data, bad. Key takeaways via David Inglis. And this is the point that I've been making severally, that the US is the biggest taker of China's goods, and therefore that gives them an enormous strength in this negotiation. Cash is outperforming stocks, bonds, credit, and commodities in 2018. I wrote about this on the 3rd of December, so I said, where are we? It's been a brutal 2018 in most markets, and for the first time in eternity, holding dollar cash was probably the best trade of them.